Hello everybody, my name is Roger and welcome to my channel, Rogers Reads. So today I'm doing a review of a book entitled Social Intercourse, written by Greg Howard. So Social Intercourse is a romantic comedy that follows Beckett Gaines, an out and proud gay teen living in a conservative town in South Carolina along with his father. Now, when his father begins dating the recently single and supposedly lesbian mom of former bully Jackson Parker, Beck is not at all amused. His father is emotionally fragile after Beckett's mother left him, and Beckett does not want to see his father get hurt again. Now, Jackson, or Jax as he's referred to in the book, isn't happy about the situation either and is willing to do whatever it takes to bring his two moms back together again. So, putting aside their past differences, and there is one serious one, the two boys form an unlikely alliance and concoct a plan to break up their parents' new romance. So during this scheming, however, the boys begin to grow closer and the situation becomes even more complicated and confusing. And of course, nothing goes according to plan, which leads to much drama and comic hijinks. So, as usual, I'm going to mention what I liked and what I disliked and my verdict. So first off, the story was hilarious. This was a wild and fun romp whose witty and sarcastic lines had me laughing out loud, nearly to the point of tears on more than one occasion. Beckett's inner running commentary was especially humorous, and I liked him more and more with each page. And the Golden Girls references were also a lot of fun. So in the story, Beckett refers to his father as Rose, who is the naive, kind of flighty character of the Golden Girls, whereas Beckett's father calls Beck Dorothy, who's the tough, more cynical, no-nonsense character. And actually, the nicknames fit the two of them quite nicely. So the story is told from the dual first-person point of view of Beckett and Jackson, and it was fun seeing the world from each of their perspectives. I especially liked Beckett's character. He was witty, sassy, irreverent, sarcastic, self-confident, and absolutely lovable, and his snappy one-liners really kept me laughing. And what I really liked was how he looked out for his dad and did whatever was necessary to ensure that his dad did not end up getting hurt. Speaking of relationships, I thought the positive portrayal of each boy's relationship with his parents was sweet and quite refreshing. I also enjoyed Jax's character. Though everybody thought of him as the great Jackson Parker, he was as insecure, as unsure of himself as any of us as he tried to find his place in the world. And not only that, but he recently has begun questioning his sexuality and whether he is genuinely the hardcore heterosexual jock that everybody believes him to be. So underneath his womanizing jock exterior, he was actually quite a likable character, and we see how one cannot tell what a person is really like from outward appearances. What's interesting is that Jackson and Beck's rocky past brings up an important issue of how one should react when someone else is being bullied. As we learn from this story, sometimes doing nothing when there's abuse or bullying going on can cause even more harm than those who are actually doing the bullying. So in this way, the story causes us to take a good hard look at our actions or inactions and how they can affect those around us. So on to what I didn't like. For me, there really wasn't too much that I disliked about the story. My only real niggle was the familiar and often cliched trope of characters. For example, Beck was the choir-singing, geeky gay kid. Jax was the super hot star football quarterback. JoJo was the extremely masculine lesbian. And then there's Tiffany, the mean girl cheerleader who's dating the football jock. And then there's Shelby, the fat best friend. You know, I would have preferred to see characters without the standard cliched over-exaggerations. Another thing I didn't like was the way that Beckett referred to Jax's mother as big titties throughout the story, which kind of bothered me. You know, from Beck's inner monologue, it's easy to see that he has a low opinion of her solely because of the fact that she's dating his dad. It would have been nice to see Beck soften his point of view of her as the story progressed. Perhaps give him the opportunity to get to know her a little bit, which unfortunately didn't happen. So I think the author lost a good opportunity there. So on to my final verdict. Those couple of niggles aside, I ended up loving this book. This was a fun, lighthearted, and somewhat messy romance that brought a wonderful grin to my face during the final pages. Though this book is quite funny, it also dealt with some serious issues, such as parental abandonment, bullying, bigotry, and divorce. This was a quirky and pregnant romance with plenty of humor, complex, well-developed characters as well. You know, nothing felt rushed in this story, so I enjoyed everything that this enemies to lovers book had to offer. It was a truly captivating read that I really didn't want to end, and I was disappointed when I had to turn the last page. I hope the author gifts us with a sequel in the future, because I really would love to see more of Jax, Beck, Shelby, and all the other lovable characters in this story. So I highly recommend this book. So I think that's it for the review of Social Intercourse. So if you like this review, I'd really appreciate it if you click the thumbs up button. And I think that's it for now. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your support, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.